Yo, what's up? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make any mesh in Blender by simply tracing any reference images you have in Blender, which, it's obviously going to help you in whatever projects you have going on or whatever you'd like to make. It helps me when I make stuff so I don't have to start completely from scratch if I'm making something, based off a real world object, which obviously you'd like it to be like one-to-one in size, like at least in dimensions. You wouldn't like anything to be kind of off a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into this. First, what you need to do is you need to go to the edit up in the top left corner, go to preferences, and then search up import images as planes, and you need to toggle this add-on. And what this is going to allow you to do is import any sort of images you have as an actual physical object into Blender, which is obviously going to allow you to use that as an image. Like, it's kind of like if you have a reference image in real life and you put like some form of tracing paper on top of it, it's essentially what this allows you to do. Or you can use it for other things, but in this video, that's what purpose it holds. Now what you need to do next is you need to go, and personally, I'm just in a new project already. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all the default stuff. You can keep it or you can use a project you're already working on. That doesn't really matter, but as long as you have that add-on enabled and you follow the rest of the tutorial, you're gonna get to where you need to be. So next, after, at least for me, I deleted everything, I'm gonna Shift A and then add a plane. And then I'm gonna rotate it 90 degrees along the y-axis, and then it'll be like this. And then the next thing I gotta do is Shift A again and go down to image, and then go to the images as planes. And now what I can do is I can go down into my folders and just pick one of the images I need so that I can get to tracing this, which in this instance I'm using I'm just making a hood for a car. I'm actually gonna add the rest of my reference images so I can pick the best one for each angle that I'm using, or at least so I just have multiple angles of looking at this so I can get it pretty damn close to what it's supposed to be. I think this is the one I'm gonna use as the main image, but I'm just gonna keep looking, see what else I got. Okay, yeah, this is what it should look like when I'm done. It should look kind of similar to that, how it's just flat and with a little curve at the end. And that's just what's most important about having reference images in Blender, aside from tracing it, is that you can just look back at it on the side and you can kind of see like how it's supposed to look when it's all done. But anyways, I'm going to take my reference image and I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees as well. And then I'm going to take it and just slide it over. I might make it a little bit bigger though. For you, it just depends on what you're making, obviously. Then you'll know how big everything you need you'll know how big you need everything to be. For me, this works perfectly fine. Now next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the plane that I just placed. You could also use the image itself. If you're only using one image, you could actually use the image itself and cut out the object out of the plane that has the image on it, which technically would already have it be textured for you. But just to make this more general for more situations than just mine or someone else's, I'm just going to select the plane here, the regular one that doesn't have any image on it, just so I can make an object that's just fresh. And if you have multiple reference images that you need to place on, like let's say you need one on this axis along this right here, you need a reference image right here, just cutting this one out isn't really going to help you too much, because you're going to need your actual mesh to be placed and be centered at all times and not really be messed with. Like, by doing this, basically it wouldn't make as much sense to do this in some cases, but in this case, just use the regular ass plane, bro. Now, I highly suggest you go through and you match up all the edges of your plane to the edges of your image, or at least what you'd like the plane to be shaped like in your image, and just get it all the way at the very edges of each corner of the object. To make this a little bit more symmetrical, I might only copy, well actually I will only copy one side of the image so that I don't have to like make an uneven looking hood. Yeah, just select and then press delete, get rid of half of it, and then yeah, I'll just do this. This is gonna look a lot better. So yeah, just drag it over, select the points, and then now you can just start tweaking it out, getting it like perfect. And you also can add extra geometry if you'd like to. Like you could cut different lines in here. Like I could take and loop cut right, or well, hold up, Control Z. Yeah, I could loop cut like right in here. Or nah, hold up. I'll move this first and then I'll loop cut it. Like that. And then I could move this just slightly over. So it gives me like perfect geometry right there. And then another one right here. Kind of where the headlight part starts. And yeah, this is basically almost done. Like this is just probably the simplest hood you could find to trace, which is just like a regular like AE86 Corolla hood. Like it's just really square and boxy. It doesn't have a whole lot going on with it. It's just very simple. Dang. Yeah, that looks pretty damn close. I'm gonna look at this other reference image real quick. I mean, it's kind of low res, but yeah, it gave me a little bit better. So this is why I got the extra ones. Like I was saying, have multiple images so you can look back and check all the images you have, so you can make a really educated decision when you're shaping it. But now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down here, shape this up a little bit, add a couple more loop cuts. Keep it pretty basic for now, and then once I start like morphing it and curving it around, then I'll start to obviously shape it a little bit differently. That's my little brother. But anyways, yeah, just, well actually, yeah, I'll just add a couple more loop cuts in here for now. Because the way this one's shaped is it's pretty simple. It's not too complicated. Like, yeah, that's good like that. Up here, kind of move that a little bit. Yeah, that's basically it. And then all I have to do next is basically start a curve from right here. Like, kind of tilt it outward. So yeah, I'll start doing this right here. I'm gonna kind of angle it a little bit, just slightly, just very, very slightly. I'm gonna angle this like that, or yeah, just like that, just very, very slightly angled. And then when I get to right here, I'll start doing more loop cuts. I mean, I don't have a side view image of this hood because I didn't look on Google too much for images, but you know, like I feel like I get a pretty general idea on how this is shaped. It's a pretty simple hood, if you ask me. I'd say I could make this pretty solid. Like, just make a curve, another one. Yeah, just shape it out, make it epic. I'm gonna curve that way more at the very, very edge. I think, yeah, that looks right, if you ask me. That looks about right. I mean, it might be a little bit off, but, you know, if you own an AE86, let me know, bruh. Let me know if this is pretty solid or not. I think it's alright. Personally, I don't have an AE86 yet, so I'm not able to, you know, go get some IRL pictures of it. And Google and my mind are doing justice right now, making it as best as possible. So I think, yeah, I think this is solid. I'm gonna move this back just a little bit though. Or nah, fuck it, I'll just leave it like that, man. Fuck it. And then I gotta move. I mean, I could move that up a little bit, but I mean, yeah, I gotta move that up a little bit. Like that, yeah. Now that's done. Now what I gotta do next is delete these vertices where the headlight is. And then now I have, it's starting to look more like the actual hood. Now the last thing I gotta do is I gotta go in here and I gotta cut these out with the knife tool. Which, this is a very key instrument with tracing, is using this knife tool. Like, if this tool did not exist in Blender, making objects should be fucking insane. It'd be probably one of the craziest things to do. Probably one of the most challenging things you could do as well. But I'm very grateful that they made this. And once I gotta go to my other reference image. Okay, it just looks like just a regular ass circle. So I'll just cut a fucking circle. Simple. Like, I mean, you know, I think it's a pretty good circle. It gets the job done. If you ask me, it gets the fucking job done. Now next, I gotta go in here and I gotta cut this out. Which these are like, I don't know if they're functional vents or not. They probably are on this hood. But I don't recall the legitimate ass hood, like the original one, to be having functional vents. I think those were just like lines or some shit. Let me know down in the comments what the actual purpose of that is, because I never studied engineering, at least yet. So I'd appreciate if someone who has a little bit more knowledge could let me know. So thank you for excusing my ignorance on the matter. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm gonna cut that line right there. I'm gonna cut that right there, and then cut that like that. And now I got that cut out. It looks, I'd say it looks pretty good. It looks a little bit rounded in here, so I'm gonna go back and just round it out more on the very end, so it's, you know, a little bit more accurate to what it's supposed to look like. And done like that. But yeah, I'll just be making this. I did get a little interrupted, so excuse the slice in the video, the little chop. But yeah, I will just be making this part just the regular top side view. I'll just be doing that like just freehand basically, like I said, and then, you know, do the curve part by myself. Now, this is very crucial, is you have to size your image, you have to size your plane up that you got, or whatever other object, maybe even like a cube. Just make sure you match it up to your image's edges, or at least what you'd like to trace out of your image. Just make sure it's lined up properly so it looks good, and it will turn out really, really well if you do this. Now, in this instance, I'm gonna just basically trace up one edge with this. I'm just gonna match up one side. I'm not too worried about the other side, because if I trace the whole thing as a whole, it's gonna come out uneven. So I'm just gonna trace one half of it, and then obviously I can just use a mirror modifier and just finish it up and make it look good. But yeah, it's gonna be dope. Now I got that matched up pretty well, so I'm just gonna put a loop cut right here and just loop cut that, and then delete these other vertices by clicking, dragging, and then pressing delete, and delete the vertices. And then I'm gonna select this vertice, drag that down here, and then I'm gonna put another loop cut right there, and then I'm gonna drag this and put that right there, and then I'm gonna put another loop cut right here, and then drag this, pull this over, and then another loop cut right here, and then drag and pull it over, and then I'll put another loop cut right here, and then line this up with the very crease right there where the headlight comes in, and then I'll put another loop cut right here, and then yeah, drag this over where that little crease is. Make sure it's like mathematically aligned. It's gotta be perfect. Then take this, drag it down. Make sure it's like all matched up, looks proper. Yeah, that looks pretty fucking good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty solid. You know, I'm curious if anybody in the comments has an AE86. Let me know if I do a good job on this. I think personally I will. But yeah, just let me know if the hood mesh comes out. It comes out pretty precise to what it's supposed to look like. I don't own one yet, so IRL pics weren't really an option in this case. You had to go, I had to go with the Google pics. You go on Google, find some stuff. Yeah, just make sure you trace it almost perfectly. You can use the knife tool, but if you're just using a plane and you're doing a hood like me, it should be pretty easy. I'm about to get into what to use the knife tool for, but in this case I haven't had to use it. It actually was simpler to not use it in this case, but you know, every tool has its own purpose. You gotta use the tool it is made for, or at least what it's specialized for, to get the best results. But yeah, as you can see, I made this looks pretty damn good. The geometry is okay. I mean, right here it's kind of crooked, but like, you know, it's just keeping it simple for the video. But yeah, we'll go over here. Now I gotta put that curve in. So I'm gonna go to my other reference image, look at that, see that, right? Take a look at this. So it kind of slopes, like you see, kind of slopes a little bit, and then just dives like that. So it just goes, it kind of starts to tilt down, and then just goes down straight at an angle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right here on the y-axis, make sure I'm lined up properly. I'll go over here and just slightly tilt it like downward. Or make sure before you do anything, have transparent or have X-ray mode on. All right, I call it transparent mode, but just click the toggle X-ray thing and just select everything, and then just slightly move it down. And then I'm gonna add a loop cut right here, and then I'm gonna take these and just move it down significantly more, but on the I believe that's the z-axis. Yeah, move it drastically more down on the z-axis. I'd say about this far, or I'll go down that far because then it'll look pretty after I put the curve in it, it's gonna look good. So okay, yeah, just I'm gonna move it down that far. I'd say that's about 1.5 of these like bigger, like I guess you could say, is it like a meter or a block? I don't know how this is calculated. Oh wait, millimeters. So I'd say just like fucking, one of these, and then just like half. That should do the job. And then I'll put another loop cut right here and just angle that like this, and then put another loop cut in and just start to angle it like it was in the images. And then I will be left with a pretty clean result out of this. It's gonna look really good. Clean loop cut. And then I'll put one last loop cut in right there. Do a couple extra right here to make it as smooth as possible. It's gotta be crispy. Another one in here. Put one last one right there. Yeah, and now that is angled out. It looks pretty solid to me. I like it. If you like it too, let me know. If you don't like it, that's okay too. But yeah, now next thing I can do, since I put the angle in, I'd say that's pretty damn on point. But yeah, next what I could do, like I could cut out this headlight. I could just do that by deleting the vertices. But if you're a bit more of a conservationalist, you could select the part where the headlight would be, and then you could either shift D and copy that, or you could just right click after you selected it, and then just click separate, and then by selection, and then now that's like completely its own object now. So if you wanted to, you could start to turn that into the headlight, but this tutorial is about making a hood and not a headlight. So I'm just gonna finish the hood. If you'd like to see a headlight tutorial, let me know. But nah, I would just finish this part because this is what's more important, bruh. Now next, what I gotta do is I gotta go and cut this little circle out, like this. Use the knife tool to go into edit mode like I did really quickly, and then select this knife tool down here, and then you can start clicking away. And then once you meet up with the last point, you're gonna be like, wait, so how do I make this vertices, right? Just press space, and it's gonna automatically turn that into a bunch of vertices in the center of your face on your object. And sometimes it does this where it like puts other edges, it like makes its own thing going on there, I guess just to add more geometry so it doesn't glitch out or something like that. Sometimes you could delete that if you'd like to get like more of a clean look, which I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. You know what? It doesn't really matter right now because it's already just fucking flat anyways. So I'll just leave it. Next, what I gotta do is I gotta cut out this little vent piece. I don't know if it's a functional vent, but this isn't a picture of an aftermarket hood, I believe. So it could be legitimate. It might not. Fuck it. But regardless, all the hoods I've seen of these, they all have this little indentation in it. Let me know if you know what it's used for. Personally, I don't know yet, so I'll probably go learn about it. So I'm not ignorant on the matter. Go into my other reference image, take a look. It looks like that. So I'll cut it out and make it look good. Just cut that out. Get like a really shit. Like this. I don't know why it likes to do it like that, but I'll just do it sideways, fuck it. Usually I don't do that, but it is what it is in this situation. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna zoom in, have the knife tool selected. I'm gonna start out right here on this edge, and then just click away with the knife tool and chop that geometry into this plane right here. Now I'm gonna take and cut right here, and cut, and then cut again, and now I'll be left at this edge right here, and then knead it up again, and then press space, and now I have that cut out. So what I'm gonna do, which I highly suggest you do as well, is go in and like adjust everything and make sure everything's even and in like a proper working order. Just make sure it looks good. There's not any points that are uneven or anything, or just don't look right. Like this, I'm gonna go through and start to like maybe add some extra loop cuts and stuff like that so I can smooth this out. Like this, smooth that out, smooth this part out. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty solid right there. That looks a little wacky. For simplicity of the video, nah, I'm not gonna do that. That's a shortcut. I don't like that. I'll just do this. Slide that up a little bit, kind of break that hard edge. And then yeah, I'll just go down here to this side, smooth this out like I did on the other side. Take and move that up. I'd say that's pretty clean right there. That looks pretty good. Yeah, just like, shit. Yeah, just like that. That's like solid. Now what I gotta do is I gotta go through, to get that extra dimension, I'm gonna select the entire thing right here and then go to delete and then delete only faces. And what that's gonna allow me to do is just have this face right here, and I can like kind of make this whatever I'd like the inside of it to be. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and delete all these vertices that were on the inside of it, and then I'm gonna duplicate this shape, and then, or actually I'm gonna select this shape that's right here, and then I'm gonna go and, hold up, why is this here? I mean, I don't really need that. Like, that's just, yeah, I don't need that. Yeah, so I'm gonna just, yeah, like I said, clean it up. But anyways, select everything like I did before, and then press E to extrude it. And then I personally click right after pressing E so I don't move it anywhere. And then I go to the scale tool and then scale it. I just scale it down a little bit. And I usually I wait till there's like a thin gap right here. And then I go through and I edit the other sides. So I'm gonna take this, push it down so it's separated and on a different it's on a different level. And then now I can go through and pick all these parts right here that are like not like, you know what I mean, how they're just like still underneath the original edges. Just go through and click and then shrink it on the y-axis, and then now it's gonna start to make it look a little bit better. Damn it, I selected the top ones. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, now I got the bottom one selected. So now I can take it and I can start to shrink it on the y-axis. And now, as you can see, it's starting to come together pretty well. I just gotta go in and do some manual adjustments with the move tool, like that, and like that. Like that. Take and move this right here. And then take and move this. And now that part right there is, I'd say that's done. Yeah, now what I can do is I can go ahead and move this up. And now what I gotta do last is put a face down here. So now there's a couple ways you could do this. You can just you can make each individual faces for like each 4 vertices, which I'm doing right now because I like how it looks. Or you could just select everything and put one really big face there. But what that's gonna do is it's gonna limit you on what you can do with what you have. So personally, I don't like being limited with what I can create with. So I'm just gonna put a face for each 4 points that are there. I'm actually gonna delete, well, I'll just leave that point there. Actually, I'll put another loop cut in right there, like completely parallel from it, and then I'll just select and then press F and put a new face, and then, you know, just repeat it on this side. Select 4 parallel vertices, and then just make something cool out of it. But right in here in this pocket, this is where it can get tricky. So I'm gonna do like I said before, just select all of it and then press F, and then you'll have a bunch of vertices for one face. So now that has its own little, it has that indentation in the hood. Now what you can do, which I'm gonna do for this particular hood, is I'm actually gonna take it and move it up at an angle so it's not like sitting, like, so it doesn't look, so, you know, so it kind of like flows in really well and kind of has a smooth fade away transition like that, sort of. Like right here you can see that, it's like that dip, and then it kind of fades out. And then I believe like on this one as well, it kind of fades away. Hard to see, but I'm just gonna do it like that because I like how it looks that way instead of like a hard edge. And I did that. Now it looks dope. Now next, what you could do is you can go to something like this, and then delete the face on this. So press delete and then only faces. And then you could duplicate it. You could duplicate it because then you can make it like its own independent object. But for me, I'm just gonna press E and extrude it, and then I'm gonna make sure it's selected, and then go to the scale tool, scale it down, and then press E again, and then push it up on the Z axis. Whoa, zoom moving fast right now. Yeah, and then just push it up, and then hold know, probably not that much up, but just a little bit higher. And then press E again, extrude it again, move it up a little bit higher, and then go to the scale and make it really small. And now it's gonna add that little point on the hood, and it's gonna look pretty clean. I mean, like that. It looks up. I mean, okay, I could do a better job than that. I'll do this, and then I'll push it down again, and then I'll press E again, push it up, and then shrink it like that, and then press F to seal it up. Push it down just a little bit. Yeah. Now it has that little dot on there. The hood looks complete from the surface of it. If you really would like to go crazy with it, you could also press E again after you select the whole thing in edit mode. You could press E again, and then you could like make it thicker, which I guess that's cool because then it makes it look like it's a much thicker object. But then what you'll have to do is you'll have to go in and change a bunch of this stuff. Like you have to go over here and then flatten that out. You have to go and push this all up like that. Make sure it's all the same thickness. Boom. Now that looks pretty swag. Obviously, you can make that a little bit more perfect than what I did. I might make it a little bit better like right now, because I would like to end this video with a not high quality looking mesh. So I'm gonna make sure that that thickness is consistent. You know what I'm saying? So it looks dope. So it's not like some yee-ass mesh, because nobody likes that. At least I don't. And then, you know, if you'd like there to be that little indentation on the bottom too, you can have that. I'm just gonna leave it because I know most hoods have like some geometry underneath, and that would actually keep it pretty realistic with like the real world. You let it have that indentation in there, and then it's on the bottom too. So yeah, I think oh wait, hold up, I'm gonna seal this up though. Hide this image right here, hide that. Then I'm gonna go in, I guess like, yeah, I could seal it up, fuck it, just seal it up. And yes, I know there's a bunch of extra geometry that doesn't need to be there, but I'm not gonna adjust that right now. I'm gonna leave that. Nobody's gonna see it, and I don't suggest just not. Well, fuck it. I'll just delete it, bruh. Fuck it. Yeah. Now the hood is done, and as you can see, I just created a pretty good hood just from those images that I had. If you have any questions, just let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video and make some cool shit with it. Thank you. I love you. I appreciate you, and you have a blessed day.